What's going on, world? And welcome to Clearing the Wreckage Podcast. It's the voice and your host, Kareem A. Rashid. And once again, I don't know what you got going on. You could be getting on the toilet, or you could be getting off the toilet. Hell, for all I know, you could be wiping your tushy. But I know that I'm ready, and so I hope that you're ready to clear the wreckage. Yes, indeed. What's going on with you today, my friends, my peeps, my fellow Wreckage Clearers? Yes, man, the community of Wreckage Clearers is growing. I know it is growing. It is fascinating to me. It is exciting to me. It is joyous to me. And I'm elated and ecstatic every time I get together with you every single week. Wow, what a blessing this is to have community surrounding me and just to have community in general. And today I want to discuss going back home. We talked about this before a little bit in one of our conversations about returning home, but I want to dive just a little bit deeper, kind of go over that analogy a little bit about baseball, because I want to kind of imply that or implement that into how it was with me during the journey of my marriage. You know that I'm sharing that story of in between 2017 and 2019 when I was married, and the difficulties and the trauma and the wreckage that was inside of me and the things that I went through during that marriage. I'm sharing my experience with you. So today I want to talk about going home. And as I said, I've discussed it before with you. And the reason why we're talking about it again is because oftentimes, my friends, oftentimes in life, do not get this twisted. Oftentimes in life, you will have to go back home. You will have to go back home. And when I'm talking about going back home, I'm talking about finding your true self again, going back to your core self, who you really are. I think just a lot of times in life, we just simply forget. We simply forget. And so it is truly a part of life's journey. And that is why I wanted to talk about it today with you. And inside my marriage at the time of 2017, March 2017, I left my home. I left my home. I left to try to form a new home. And I wanted this home to have, all of my things in it, all of my values, all of my core values, my morals, everything, my belief system, all in it, right? Everything that I cherished and all of hers as well. That's what it means when you make a home with someone else. You want to turn that into a home where both identities intertwine, become one, right? Well, somewhere along the way, my friends, I kept leaving my values, my core identity, my morals, the things, my belief system. I kept leaving it out. And I kept leaving it out only for her sake. Remember, we talked about last week, the week before that, and the week before that, about ego. And my ego was getting in the way, and I made myself highly important. But I also made her highly important. And I also made myself lower as well. We talked about that. We have discussed that. I began slowly to lose my true self, to lose my home. So let's talk about it a little bit more, and let's use the baseball analogy. Yes, and why I am using this metaphor, to me, it just totally makes so much sense and is easy to comprehend. It's more easier to understand than most of the analogies that talk about going home. I think this one is just very logical and simple, right? And baseball is a very simple game. But it totally makes sense to me, and it brings everything into perspective. Going home is baseball's way of, it's kind of like a psychological analogy, right? It's a way of explaining, and it's giving an analogy toward one's journey of going back to their true identity, to their true self. It's characterized by a cycle of separation, struggle, and eventual reintegration. Baseball is so unique because the ultimate goal is to return where you started. That is the ultimate goal of baseball. So home plate or home base represents the initial undifferentiated self. The initial self, your true self. That is what home plate represents. The place of origin, the home base. This is the space from where you must venture forth into the field, right? Or the field of life. For me, it was the field of marriage. So moving through first and second base kind of symbolizes the expansion of ego. And that's why we talked about this in the last couple of conversations that we had. And it deals with the confrontation with the outer field, the people in the outer field, the outer fringes of the world, right? Second base is often considered the farthest point from home. The farthest point from home, which represents the peak of separation from your core identity, from your true self. This is normally where the ego maximizes, right? Big head, your head just blows up. And this was me. And you can barely see home plate because it is the farthest point from home plate, right? So in other words, you tend to forget who you really are. For me, I begin to forget my core values and my true self in that marriage. I was on first and second base. And now third base, let's talk about third base to home, the transition. Third base to home represents a hunger for home. You get to third base, it represents that drive to rejoin one's earlier true self. This stage represents the wisdom gathering phase of life where you seek completeness in reunion. Now, let's also talk about the dynamic of the pitcher versus the batter. We're going to go through this real quick, so keep up. This is what we would call the shadow dialogue. I love this because this is the duel between the pitcher and the batter. Actually represents the confrontation with the shadow. The shadow being your hidden, repressed, or challenging parts of your own psyche, all that wreckage. So the pitcher as the unconscious. Let's think about that. The pitcher stands on this elevated mound, orchestrating chaos. Let's think about that, right? So just think about life in general as I'm explaining this metaphor and analogy to you. Just think about life in general, right? So chaos is being orchestrated. When you walk out that door, let's talk about physical. When you walk out that door of your home, there's chaos that is being orchestrated, right? When you step foot out of that house, right? All types of stuff can happen in life, right? Curveballs, sliders, change-ups. And these things in baseball, you know, what the pitcher is doing and the pitcher is throwing at you, it just symbolizes life's unpredictable traumas, anxieties, and unexpected shifts that can test our stability, right? So lots of things happen when you walk out that front door of your home in the morning time when you are going into the outer field, the outer fringes of life. But first, that pitcher has to come to you. That pitcher has to throw you the ball, and you don't know which way that pitcher is going to throw the ball. They may throw a curveball, they may throw a slider, they may throw a changeup. You don't know. And so let's talk about you as being the batter, right? The batter as the conscious ego. The batter stands at home plate. Let's talk about the physical. Let's take back. So we're talking psychological, but I'm going to give you the physical standpoint and viewpoint as well. You're leaving your house. You're about to open that door. Swing, batter, batter, batter. As soon as you open that door, that's your swing. That is you getting ready to hit the ball, whatever life throws at you for the day. That is exactly what that is physically, right? But psychologically, the batter stands at home plate, forced to remain grounded and hyper present. Physically, you don't know what is going to happen to you. So in the morning time, before you leave that house, you should become grounded and present. Yes. But in order to hit the ball and begin the journey, the ego must accurately read the unconscious threat, accept the challenge, and make the impactful contact with the ball. So in the same way that you put on those shoes and you go, okay, I'm about to open this door, you got to accept the challenges of life that come to you. You got to accept it. Because it's going to come, and you don't know how it's going to come. Now let's talk about the nature of the safe bases, right? These we will call our temporary comfort zones. In life, people tend to get stuck. So we tend to get stuck, and so that analogy means like, so on first and second base, the bases where you can't get tagged out on, they're temporary bases, right? So in life, people tend to get stuck on first and second base. These bases represent the comfort zones. Maybe a secure but unfulfilling job. You walk out that door, boom, you hit the ball, boom, you're driving toward second base. Oh, I've arrived to my secure job, but it is so unfulfilling. I have to be here from 8 to 5. I have to do this. And you are miserable the whole time you're doing your job, but you're comfortable at the same time. Or it could be an identity that is built entirely around pleasing others. Or it could be a title, such as for me, marriage. But it is rather unfulfilling. But you stay because it is comfortable. You stay in that job because it is comfortable. You stay around those people because they approve of you. Come on now, don't let me start preaching up in here. So this area of bases, we will call it the stagnant identity area. First and second base, stagnant identity. Now, to get closer to your true self, you must willingly leave the safety of those bases and risk being caught in no man's land. So if you want to become your true self, let's take me for instance, in that marriage, I had to be willing to leave the safety of that base. You cannot score or run or achieve true self-actualization by staying anchored to a temporary safety net. By staying anchored on that base, you'll never make it to third, and then you will never make it home. Home is the destination of the journey, my friends. And we'll call this area the risk of growth. Now, see, for me, I had a dilemma that I was faced with. And I'm just going to be honest with you. This was my dilemma. I could leave my ex-wife, or I could stay and be comfortable. Was I willing to risk my own growth for her happiness and stability? Or was I going to risk being unstable in order to grow? So that's a question that I have for you. Are you willing to risk your own growth for someone else's happiness? Or are you willing to risk being unstable so that you can grow and you can be fulfilled and happy? Now, let's talk about the safe call that happens at home, right? This is unconditional acceptance. When you slide into home base and the umpire yells safe, it triggers a powerful emotional release. This, my friends, is the ultimate validation, and this is truly what we are all seeking. This is what I was seeking, radical self-acceptance, but I was looking for it in my ex-wife, and I was not receiving it. But that is what I was looking for. My friend, that is what you are looking for as well. You are looking for it in your job from your boss, that acceptance. You are looking for that ultimate validation, but it's not going to come from him or her. It's not going to come from your boss. It's not going to come from your employees. It's not going to come from your co-workers. It's not going to come from your peers at school. It is not going to come from anyone outside of you. Shall I repeat that to you? Boy, don't let me start preaching up in here. And that validation will not come from anyone. You have to make it home to be secure, to be safe, to be validated in and of yourself is where it comes from. And it is also the realization that despite the errors, despite the strikes, and the grueling journey through the dirt, your core identity is intact, approved, and welcomed back. You are now safe in your own skin. That is what home base represents. Now, you as the baseball runner, you must round the bases on your own 2 feet. And see, this is something that I did not put into practice, my friends. I did not put this into practice when I was going through my marriage. I tried to carry her. I did not allow her to run the bases as her own runner. She's the only one that can hit the ball herself and run through the bases. I was going to carry her through all of the bases and get her home. I was also looking for someone to carry me. Maybe I was looking for her to carry me. I think I was. I was looking for the marriage to be the safety net, the marriage to carry me. This is home for me. This is where I am safe inside my marriage. Now I have everything that I dreamed of. I have the title of being married, just like the rest of my friends. I wanted this before I got a certain age. I got it. I've achieved it. And now because I have it now, I am safe. I feel safe. I feel secure in this. Okay, so I wanted all of that. My desires came true. And so then I got comfortable. But I did not want to run the bases on my own. And I did not want her to run it on her own. I wanted to carry her. But this is where personal accountability takes place, my friends. This is the game of baseball. It is personal. Coaches can give you signals, right? Your teammates can hit the ball, but no one can carry you. No one. The journey of the true self is deeply solitary. You must run your own race. You must read the field. You must make that physical jump or leap or run to the next base. I explained this a little bit deeper to you today to give you more of a look into not only what our life's journey is like, my friends, but what it is and what it was like for me during that time in my experience of my marriage. So to break it down for you, I left my own home plate, my own home base. Because truly, I was learning to become my true self. I was relearning who I really was before I jumped into that marriage. You've already heard all of that. I don't need to share it with you before. But in 2016, I started clearing the wreckage. I began to look inside. I began to excavate, get all the wreckage out, right? And I began to, all this, okay, there's layers and layers on top. Let me excavate. Let me get this stuff out. And I began to see my core identity. I began to see my true self. And because of that, part of me, my ego was like, oh, well, I'm safe. I know who I am now. So now I can leave my home and I can, go and start a home with somebody else and help them find their home. And that's what I did. Oh, no, let me leave my home now, and then I can marry her, and then hopefully in turn, with me, been by her side, and she can find who she really is. That is not how it works, my friends, in life. We cannot. Now, we can assist. Don't get me wrong. We can assist. But as I said, everyone has their own journey, and I stood in the way of that journey. I literally put myself in the way and said, all right, I'm going to carry you to home base so you can find your true self. And so I left my home plate. I got comfortable at second base. I had that whole title of marriage, right? I accomplished the dream that I wanted to experience this, but I was so far from home. I was so far from home, y'all, that my vision became blurry and I could barely see home base. I forgot who I was internally. I allowed things to happen in my marriage that my true self would not ever allow to happen, so that she can remain happy. And because of her happiness, I will be happy. I will be safe. I will be secure. I will be comfortable. And it was for her to still have a home to come to, and for me to have a home to come to as well. For me to have the title of husband. Husband. But once I got to third base, something happened. I began to deeply desire home, to get back home. A choice had to be made. I can remain here, or I can go back home to my true self. Now, once I got to third base, I could begin to see myself, because I wasn't that far from home anymore. I no longer wanted this version of me. I wanted that version of me, that one that was waiting for me at home base. So my question for you, as we wrap this episode up, my friends, my question for you is, are you longing to be your true self? Do you even know who that is? Have you been living on second and second base for so long that you don't even know who your true self is? You don't even know your core identities. Have you been living to please your parents all your life? My parents said I should go to college. My parents said I should do this. Or this person said I should do this, so I'm going to do it. Are you at third base? And can you see that person at home rooting for you, ready to welcome you with open arms? Safe, the umpire yells. Are you longing to hear those words so that you can be set free? Or are you still at first or second base? Are you so far away from home, filled with ego, people-pleasing, separation of self and others, still thinking, oh, I'm nothing like you, we're totally different? Oh, I'm black, you're white. Nope. Or I'm white, you're black. Nope. Oh, I'm rich, you're poor. Nope. Or I make this amount of money, you make that amount of money. Or I have this many followers on social media, you only have 200. Oh no, I'm better than you, I'm faster than you, I'm greater than you, I'm smarter than you. Are you on first and second base? Are you filled with ego that you still think that you are better than everybody? Or no, well, or you think you're lower. Oh no, I don't have as many followers as this person. Oh, that person has this beautiful car. How did they get it? Oh, look at their photos. Oh, they look so happy as a couple. Oh, I'm in my marriage miserable. Oh, are you in comparison? What's going on? These are questions that you need to ask yourself. I'm asking you these questions today. I want you to take some time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. Are you comfortable in an unfulfilled marriage or a job or a relationship? Are you out there living just to make others happy? Have you forgotten who you are? It is time, my friends, to go back home. And with that, I leave you with this. I made the decision. I heard the umpire yell, "Safe." Once I had got home, I put my pajamas on because I felt safe. And there was no going back. I filed for the divorce papers. I did the legwork. I took personal accountability and I ran the bases myself. I got people involved once I got home to help me so that I could remain intact, safe at home. I was safe. And let me encourage you and validate you and reassure you that once you get home, you are safe. Yes, you are. I'm going to read a journal entry to you, sharing with you how I felt once I got back to my true self. And these were things that I stopped doing. I stopped doing the regular things that I was doing for myself, for my mental health, for my personal growth, for my own development, for my own recovery, for her sake, for her happiness, for her to be fulfilled instead of me. And so I'm going to share this journal entry with you. This was almost a month after my divorce was finalized. I went on a date like I used to do with God, or with myself, I shall say. And this is what I wrote. On January 11th, 2020. You came. Yay. And you are sitting right next to me. I know it. I feel you. I want to be in love with you. The way you love me is indescribable. I am so valuable and lovable to you. I mean so much to you. I can't even try to imagine how much I mean to you, but when I do think about it, it sends shivers down my body. To think that you would do anything for me is amazing. Your love is unstoppable. Your will is unstoppable. What you will to happen will happen. You already know my future. So I will sit here in this moment, in today, and not worry about tomorrow. I am protected and I am safe. Thank you. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for wanting me, desiring me to be with me. True intimacy, a oneness is what you desire in me with you. I am starting to see you in everything. Please continue to purify my eyes and my heart so that I can see you. Cleanse out my ears so that I can hear you. Clear out my heart so that I can hear your voice. The wind is comforting. Your breath is blowing and surrounding me. Thank you for everything that has happened in my life. Especially the past few months, I had moments of uncertainty, but you gave me moments of clarity. You continue to tell me to trust in you and that you are with me. Thank you for that. Thank you for allowing me to believe in you, increasing my faith, and you increased it through trials and difficulties. Wow, you were totally amazing. And you know what? I did not run. I did not run. I did not isolate myself from the world. I embraced community and your people that you have surrounded me with. I have so much family here. It's amazing. Thank you for surrounding me with such lovely people who love me genuinely. I see and I feel your love through them. I just want to thank you, thank you, thank you. Today is all I have, and I am so grateful for it. I cannot escape your love. I do not want to escape your love. And your love is so powerful that it compels me and controls me. I know that nothing good exists on the other side. And I think what I was explaining right there was when I go without the presence of the mighty one. Before you, I was so lost. Now I've found you. I'm talking about myself that I'm finding, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Because God is inside of me. You're the best thing that has ever happened to me. Why would I ever want to be without you or leave you or even leave your protection? Because you have surrounded me with angels on all sides. Help me to stay in your protection, in your pasture, and in your field with the rest of your sheep. Thank you for being an amazing shepherd. Thank you again for this experience and moment with you. Now, I was talking about myself, to myself, all of that, because God is within me. And I begin to feel that presence again because I begin to seek that presence. I begin to desire that. I begin to desire my true self. So once again, my question for you is, are you longing to be your true self? Are you at third base and you are longing to go home? All you have to do is go back home. That's all I got for you today. I thank you so much for joining me. And once again, as I always leave you, take some time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. Peace. Oh.